listen, people, welcome to the podcast. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. I want to get into the podcast already because this comment here, they got my guy blank. He says, Mason Mount as our third midfielder, no more silent. If that's the case, Ineos and Carrick out. It shouldn't be the case as I trust Carrick. Mount is cheeks. I don't know if you've seen this, but this is a growing kind of talk now of Mason Mount as the double pivot kind of midfielder. And apparently, you know, there's words in the camp that they like him. He's a good trainer. There's been a lot of PR, Norton. Let's be honest, bro, Norton. There's been a lot of PR. Are you worried that they actually started to see Mason Mount as this third midfielder, you know, that is going to do a job? Because I'm not going to lie to you, he might start the season, Norton. Yeah, he might start alongside Santos as our midfield pivot against Hull City because he's the one that's like right now fit, ready, sharp, you know, like playing football. Mainu is back, but Mainu hasn't played football since bloody May. Do you know what I mean? We haven't even got a sharp Mainu. You know what I mean? He's been on the bench. And Tielemans, we have to be careful about his injury because he's come back from an injury that we have to be careful about, you know. So, listen, I hope this is not the case. I hope we're not hearing this news, but we are starting to hear little murmurs, Nuruddin, of Mason Mount's kind of almost rise to his importance. They're saying, rise to his importance. Is he someone that they didn't anticipate to play well? And all of a sudden, this is presenting himself as an opportunity for Mason Mount. That's the words I'm hearing right now, bro. And again, like I said to you, these could be opinion pieces. This could be...
Saeed has come out. Laurie Whitwell has come out today.
I know, I seen that. Now, whether he's trying to tell us something, Nuruddin, or if he's giving his opinion, which one is it, though?
Because no, he's telling us something. That's what the club have told him. He's saying to you, what he's hearing is that they don't need... maybe third midfielder is not a priority right now. Because, Saeed, can we recap, please? We played against... who did we play against? First game in the season. Wrexham did a job.
Whole City.
No, I'm talking about the first pre-season game. So I'm just
it was Wrexham. Yeah, we played the 10 that game.
Yeah, but they were more physical than us. So I'm not doubting that. The players have not played a month or whatever. Yeah. So I don't mind that. We played against Rosenberg's C team because they were saving a lot of their players for the league game. Yeah, they had a league match game. Yeah, on the weekend. Yeah, then. We played against we played large majority of Atletico Madrid is kids. And all of a sudden, we're testing things of that. And we're saying, Mason Mount's going to be the guy.
Yeah. So let me read it for you.
Saeed, you know what? Maybe I need to turn my camera off for this. Like,
Nerd not having it, man. So basically, Ian Irvin, which is the guy who presents the show, you know what I mean, for the Talk of the Devils podcast, he said potentially Mason Mount's performances and the thought of Carrick to use him deeper means that there may not be a mystical, you know what the words are in? Mystical, you know what I'm saying? Mystical third midfielder signing possibly. That's a question out there. It looks like to me that's a leading question, by the way. It looks to me that, you know what? They've had a thought before the podcast. How can I put this for you, Laurie Whitwell, in terms of giving you a leading question? And he said, yeah, I mean, so again, I'm hesitant to sort of commit massively because I think plans have changed as we've gone on. But I think Carrick really likes Mason Mount. And so does that then, you know, if you have these two midfielders at your base of your midfield. So you've got Santos, you've got Mason Mount, you've got Tielemans, you've got Mainu. That's 4 for 2 positions potentially. And you know if you can count Bruno as a 10, that's going to pretty much hold on to that. But then you perhaps got others that could step in. Tielemans could be the 10, for example, and rotate. And you know you could be knowing, obviously, we saw Shea Lacey there. So perhaps they're looking at that thinking we've got a certain amount of money to spend and where do we absolutely need it to be? And yeah, I don't know at what point it sort of felt that Mason Mount could be that guy. Now, the thing is, what you have to say here is that sometimes these journalists don't know what they're doing. You feel me? They could be almost like thinking, how can we make it look like what's going on right now in Man United and what's happening are two different things, because end of the day, they've got to sell this podcast, Nuruddin. You know what I mean? The podcast has got to run. It's not like us here where we could just almost like, you know, they work for the athletic.
It's not just that. It's not that. It's that Laurie Whitwell actually is in love with Mason Mount. He's literally
he's done bare PR for him. I know he's done a lot of PR pieces for him.
All the PR for him. Like he thinks Mason Mount is the greatest footballer the world has ever seen, and it's crazy for me. Manchester United season's going to start. We're going to need options. We're going to be playing in the Champions League, League Cup, FA Cup games to go. So what are we doing here? But do you understand the copium? That, to me, that type of talk is a club that's breathing stuff out like that. It's the club in crisis. And some of the people who are on that injection of the copium, to me, the question I want to ask you, Saeed, have the copium supplies gone? Are the manufacturers still making more toxic positivity copium? Is that still there?
Well, I don't know, but the group chat, chat's gone a bit quiet. The group chat's gone a bit quiet during this, so I don't know if the group chat's popping right now. You feel me? Like, shout out the group chat, but I don't think there's been anything going on right now. You know what I mean? Rhino and them man there. But I think for me, Nuruddin, I've kind of almost been like, you know what? I'm ready for the season to start, Nuruddin, because I feel like I'm just like, we're waiting around thinking these signs are coming in. And I'm like, yo, let's just get the season on with, man, because end of the day, that's where everyone's excuses can stop. I've made it clear what I want, Nuruddin. You know me. I said at the start of summer, I want 6 signings through the door. We've got 2 of them. We still need 4 more. I've said, made it clear. So therefore, we know what we need. Like, it was very, very clear at the start of the summer what Man United needed. It's almost as if people have just kind of almost been compromised. They think, you know what, we don't need a centre back anymore. Or we don't need a left winger anymore. Well, we don't need that. Well, reality is, when you have
6 players. We needed 6 players.
Yes. So what I'm saying to you is, when the season becomes the way it is, and you see that you'll have injuries left, right, centre, you're going to need a squad more than anything. You're going to need a squad.
It's like even in games, you need bench options to change games.
I agree. So what you look at it from my point of view is that I've said what I've said. Now it's my United to deliver. Now, do I crash out now? No, because at the end of the day, like, they don't deserve me crashing out, because Ineos have to do what's to be done. Now, end of the window, we can have the conversation where we can actually say, right, the people that said we're going to get all these signings in, where are you?